Good day, gamers. What's going on? The name is AK, owner of eXtremeAzure Productions, and today I'm bringing you a mixture of an X talk and an X react, because this is mainly me giving my thoughts on what happened with Microsoft's E3 2016 press conference. Now, I have to say, having watched the whole thing, it was interesting. You know, it was very interesting. They showed off a lot of games. That was their big focus, but their main thing that came out of that conference was basically the changes that they're making to the Xbox brand, now combining it with the Windows. So it seems that Microsoft is trying to completely blur the line between Windows and Xbox. They are basically putting them both together. The main reason why I say that is because of their new Play Anywhere initiative, where you are now going to be able to buy a game on Windows or Xbox, and you will be able to have access to that game. So you buy it once, you have it on across both kinds of platforms, and you'll be able to access your data from whatever device that you have. So if you have a Windows device or if you have an Xbox, if you buy a game, you have it on both those devices at once, and your data is synced across both platforms. So I think it's pretty cool. You know, they're really trying to connect PCs to consoles, and it does make sense. Because now that all of the exclusives are moving from Xbox One to go ahead along with PC, this now opens up the environment to millions of more players, because there are some PC gamers who really just do not want to touch a console. They just don't like console gaming. And that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. Some people enjoy console gaming, some people enjoy PC gaming, some people enjoy both, but you have some people who just do not like the other. Some console gamers who think that PC gaming is too expensive and complicated, so they don't fool with it. Then you have PC gamers who think that console gaming is too basic and restrictive, so they don't fool with it. So like I said, you have these different mindsets for different people, and that's just a part of being human. Everyone's different, everyone's unique. So it's good that Microsoft is trying to be more open. They're trying to give their games a much bigger environment to roll around in, because there are some people who would have never bought an Xbox One, despite the fact that they want to play some of its exclusives. They would have never bought the system. They just would have dealt with it and just stuck to the multi-platform games. So now the Xbox One exclusives are now being shared along with Windows 10 PCs. Like I said, it opens up the environment big, and I really congratulate Microsoft for doing that. I've seen a lot of people react saying that, well, now what's the point of buying an Xbox if I can get all the games on PC? Well, see, there's a catch with that, because while it is true that you don't have to buy an Xbox to get access to the exclusives, not everyone has a competent PC. Just because someone has a PC, that doesn't mean that they can play every single game that's released on it. Not even everyone who has a Steam account has a PC that can play most of the games that are on Steam. You have some people that could only play low-end titles, you know, really basic indie titles, because that's all that they can manage to afford when it comes to their computer. So instead they buy a console to gain access to other games that they otherwise would not be able to play, simply because their PC just isn't powerful enough, and they may not be in a position to buy a more powerful PC, and they may not even want to. Like I just said, you have some people who just enjoy console gaming. So because there's always going to be a market for consoles, you know, Xbox isn't going anywhere. So I do not condemn Microsoft for making this change of sharing exclusive between Xbox and PC. Because even if you are a console gamer and you probably never just do not want to fool with Microsoft consoles, you're still giving them money by now buying their games on PC. That's what I mean. So not only have they now tapped into the PC crowd, but they've also tapped into people who may be on rival platforms like PlayStation and Nintendo, because even though those people may have never are into console gaming, they don't want to buy a Microsoft console, but now that they don't have to, either way, Microsoft is still making money. So even if you're laughing at Microsoft for taking away the Xbox One's exclusives, if you're still buying those games, Microsoft is getting your money either way, so it really does not matter. All this does is open up the environment to a bigger amount of people, and I actually have to congratulate Microsoft for doing this. Sony could technically do the same thing too, but since that Windows is a Microsoft platform, they won't do that. Like I said, it does make sense. It does make sense. I'm not going to condemn Microsoft for doing this. It is a good deal. Good job to them. But what really does worry me about this whole thing is the fact that they are now splitting the Xbox user base technically. They announced at the conference that the Xbox One S will be coming in the next couple of months, and there have been reports, mixed reports. Some say that it's technically more powerful, that it'll be able to upscale games to 4K. Others say that CPU and GPU have gotten a slight upgrade, so games will now perform better on the S. You know, there are mixed reports. But anyway, the point is, the Xbox One S is coming, and I like it. I just may pick it up. I'm thinking about it. But I don't have any problem with the Xbox One S. What I really have a problem with is Project Scorpio. Microsoft officially announced it at the end of their conference. That was the very last thing that they had, and they basically pulled the Nintendo. They announced the system without announcing the system. They announced the existence of the system, gave very minuscule details as to what it was going to be. That's it. That's all they did. And then they also said when it was going to be releasing holiday 2017. So now we officially know that there will be 2 new pieces of hardware coming out in 2017. The NX in March, the Scorpio sometime in the winter. Who knows when the Neo is coming out? Sony's going to comment on that at some point. But now we know officially that 2017 is going to mark a very big step for the video game industry. We're going to now have 2 brand new systems out there on the market. And I really have to worry about Project Scorpio because when you look at the specs on that system, 6 teraflops, that's a lot of power. That's a huge step over the Xbox One, which only has, I think, about 1.84 teraflops, something like that. I know it's 1 point something, but that's a huge step. Okay, and Microsoft has said that the main reason for this is because they want to give developers access to be able to create games in 4K. Now, I'm not sure if they actually mean rendering games in 4K because, as I said before in a past video, that's expensive. Okay, that's expensive. You have some high-end PC cards which can't even do 4K at 60 frames per second. Okay, that takes a lot of resources. A lot of resources. So, if the Project Scorpio really can render games in 4K, congratulations, and also what the hell, because how much is this thing going to cost? That's what I wonder about this. 6 teraflops of power is nothing to scoff at. And for a console, because it's being optimized to play games, it may be able to outperform a PC technically, because PCs are made for more broader tasks, not just playing games, whereas consoles are streamlined and optimized for playing games. So it could be easier to get a game to run in 4K on a console than it is to do it on a PC. But even so, it doesn't change the fact that this is going to be expensive. So I really wonder how much this thing is going to cost. And the whole reason why I'm so iffy about it is not just the cost, because you have some people where money is really just not an object, like how people spend hundreds of dollars on a new Apple product each year. So yeah, I know that money isn't an object to some people, but excusing that, what does this mean for Xbox One and Xbox One S owners? Because it looks like they're going to be on 2 different ends of the spectrum. If you have a Scorpio, you're going to be able to play games at a higher level of visual fidelity and even better performance than you can do it on the original Xbox One and Xbox One S. So you really are splitting the fan base down the middle. Even though Phil Spencer said that games will be compatible across all 3 of these consoles, which is good, so that means that technically nobody gets left behind, doesn't change the fact that people are going to have a different experience. So they've basically now made the console space a little more like the PC space, where you have PCs of variable degrees. Some people can run a game on ultra settings, 60 frames, the highest resolution, whereas some people have PCs that can only run the game at the lowest possible settings at a bare minimum resolution. Okay? So that's basically how the PC market is now. 2 people can be playing the same games, but they're having 2 different experiences simply because that their hardware is not the same. So that looks like how it's going to be now with the consoles. And I mean, it's good because now those who want a premium system can get a premium system, and that's good and all, but it really does switch things up. Nothing like this has happened before. Like I said, you're splitting the user base down the middle. Even though games are going to be compatible across all 3 consoles, which is great, anyone who has the basic system is definitely going to feel a little bit shafted. This definitely applies to people who've gotten an Xbox One since either launch day or even within the last year. Basically, you are now a second-class citizen if you have the original Xbox One. That's how it is. And like I said, I'm just not too sure how to feel about that. I have faith in Microsoft that they'll probably make this work. I mean, because the PC market is obviously doing very well, so I do have faith that they'll somehow make this work. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a new chapter in the gaming industry with the Scorpio and more than likely even with the Neo, because the Neo is going to be way more powerful than the original PlayStation 4. So now you're going to have a basic console and a premium console, and you get what you pay for. Now it's going to be where not everybody is on the same playing field. There are now going to be variables within the console market, and this could either work well or this could bomb. We'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. And as for Nintendo, I would really love to know where they fit in with this situation. And now I wonder if the NX is going to be more comparable to the original Xbox One and PS4, or if it's going to be somewhere in the middle between the original PS4 and the original Xbox One and their upgraded counterparts. And if the NX really is somewhere in the middle, I still think that'll be good, especially if Nintendo goes ahead and gives it x86 architecture. That'll work well, games will be compatible across the board, so all we have to do is wait and see how the thing sells. So yeah, a lot of things happening in the gaming industry. Let's see what turns out. Till next time, guys, I thank you for watching the video. Leave your comments down below, tell me what you think, and if you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. And hey, click that subscribe button. Until next time, once again, have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next video.